Welcome to stunning Moab, Utah, where we're here for 14 nights. We're staying at 2 different RV parks, and yes, we're going to bring you along for that. But, you know, we're here right in the middle of 2 awesome national parks, Arches and Canyonlands. And, you know, we're just wondering, is Moab just about the national parks? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to bring you along, so stick around. Hello, Utah.
We're back. Yeah, after, gosh, I'm not even sure how long we were in Colorado, at least a month.
Yeah.
We are back in Utah and headed to Moab. So we're excited. We've spent 1 night in Moab back in 2019 when we had Grammy K with us. And we were making a beeline to get back to Houston to drop her off and take care of some other things. And so we only had 1 night in Moab back then, but we got 2 weeks in Moab this time.
Yeah, so we're gonna bring you along. Let's go.
Woohoo! Hello, Utah. So it's our first morning in Moab, Utah. We thought we'd start it off by breakfast at the Moab Diner. This place gets great reviews, so I'm excited to try it. Then we're gonna head over to the visitor center and get some information.
Wow, great stop. And you know what was phenomenal is the service here was incredible. I couldn't even, my coffee cup couldn't even get a third down, and boom, they were on it. I love that because I drank probably way too much coffee, but it was great. And the food quality was excellent. I mean, we both loved our meals. I had French toast with ham and eggs, and Stacie had some kind of a skillet. And she had green chili too that came with it, which is very interesting, and it was very, very good. So strongly recommend the Moab Diner. It's been here for a long time, and it's actually been a diner, I guess, Stacie read, since the 90s. It was originally a drive-in diner, but then it changed to another business, and back in the 90s, it changed into a ice cream place. And then in the 90s, it turned back into a diner, and it's been a diner ever since. Worth coming.
So it's super convenient to have the information center for Moab right here on Main Street, right in the middle of town. There's parking around back and also on the street. So yeah, let's go see what they have to offer. I have a feeling it's going to be a ton. So yes, when you get to Moab, I think you need to make the information center one of your first stops. Not only is it a wealth of information, all kinds of brochures, folks in there, they're really knowledgeable about the area, including park rangers who are here, who can answer your questions about the national parks, the Forest Service, the BLM land, the trails, the bike trails, the hiking trails, the Jeep trails, everything there is to do in Moab, all right here. They also have a 20-minute movie that they play when you ask about the area. And they sometimes have guest speakers in here doing presentations. Plus there's a gift store and some exhibits. Definitely worth the stop when you first get into Moab. That was absolutely delicious. We had the lunch special, which today was either a chicken sandwich with a side and a drink or a pulled pork sandwich with a side and a drink. They were both really good. Tom had the chicken, I had the pork. What I really like about it is, first of all, it was the right amount of food and a good price for the lunch menu. But also, they serve their meat without sauce, and then you have about 6 different variations of sauce on the table to choose from. That's especially important to me because I'm a barbecue purist. I don't really eat much sauce, if any, and so I ate mine without sauce and it was fantastic. And then if you like sauce like Tom, you had a lot of choices to pick from so you could make it your own experience. Great job, Spitfire. So we are just a couple miles from the Moab KOA, and when we were in the visitor center the other day, we picked up this book, Moab Rock Art. There are pictographs and petroglyphs all over this area, especially petroglyphs. And so today we decided to come find some, and this tells you where some of the easiest ones to access are and how to get to them. This is the golf course pictographs because you're not far from a golf course. But yeah, we came up just down, you know, Moab is right down the hill through a residential neighborhood, and look at this. This whole rock face is covered in pictographs, and they said these particular ones, they estimate to be between 725 and 2,000 years old. They said that it's both ancestral Puebloan and Fremont peoples who were here that created this art. This is just amazing.
We made a stop here at the Moab Coffee Roasters, and yeah, I got me a good iced coffee and had to get some whole beans to grind for our coffee in the morning. And yeah, that place in there, wow, does it smell good. Every time that door opens, you smell that fresh coffee. Love it.
So just down from the RV park where we're staying is the branding iron. And yeah, we're gonna go grab some lunch.
quality of food was fantastic. The service from Liz, great job, Liz. She's very good. Handled the whole dining room. Everybody was doing good. And I thought the quantity of food on mine was a little low, but I tell you what, the quality was great. So I'll take quality over quantity any day. Stacie's was good. Period. She had a chicken sandwich that was really good, and the French fries was phenomenal because I had some of those as well. So, yeah, I'd recommend this place. Real close location to the KOA, and who knows? We might be back.
You see every kind of vehicle on the streets here in Moab. Welcome to our campsite here at OK RV Park. This is one of 2 RV parks that we've stayed at during our time in Moab, and I think that's pretty common. If you don't make your reservations way in advance for Moab, Utah, you might want to think about doing some park hopping so you can get the time that you want. There are a lot of options here, so it makes it pretty easy. At OK RV Park here, what's different about this park, this is a small mom and pop establishment. It is not on the main highway like most of the RV parks in Moab. So you have a little bit more of a drive, but really not much. We're about 2 miles from the KOA at this point. And because you're not right on the main highway, it tends to be a little quieter. You don't get all the road noise. This is a very clean park. We have full hookups, 30 and 50 amp electric. And while our site is a little bit short, we fit with our 34-foot motorhome and the Jeep park crossways in front. There are some bigger sites up toward the front of the park. And you not only have RV sites here, but you can rent an RV if you don't have one. They also have cabins, they have glamping tents, and they have teepees. So that's kind of unique. The office has lots of information about stuff to do in the area. They serve coffee in the mornings for free, and they've also sell drinks and things like that in the office. Really nice people. There are not a lot of amenities here. You're not going to find a dog park or a swimming pool, things like that. But they do have a laundry room, and they have restrooms. They also have a gathering area up near the office where you can use their cooking equipment if you'd like to. So that's pretty convenient. This has been a really nice stay, very quiet, and yeah. Oh, and it is a lot more reasonably priced than some of the other RV parks in Moab. So if you're looking for a deal, you definitely want to check out OK RV Park. So we're out looking for more petroglyphs, and we're not quite, I think, we're to the point where we're going to see those, but we saw a parking lot and some signs, so we pulled in. This is the Moab Rim Trailhead. We even have an arch behind us up there. This is it's so quiet. This is a pretty amazing place.
And we're literally, what, 2 miles out of downtown Moab, 3 miles
Yeah,
maybe?
2, maybe 3 miles outside of downtown Moab is this. Unbelievable.
Well, we found a bunch of petroglyphs, and we're in Moonflower Canyon. And yeah, this dates back to 5,000 BC. They say it goes from 5,000 BC to about 1250 AD. And but this stuff's incredible. But as we look at this rock, there is a lot of graffiti over the years from here. They say this is the most vandalized site in Moab. And there's actually even dates from 1900. So, I mean, that's even ancient. I mean, it goes back to 1900 that someone wrote on this rock. But wow, it's pretty cool to be here just in the area where folks from 5000 BC were drawing on the rocks. And we learned something else too, that if you see a character kind of like upside down, they believe that that may symbolize somebody that died, and kind of memorializing them. So, pretty cool.
Tell you what, you just never know what you're going to come across as you're out exploring. Just right over here by the Moonflower group, there's a group camping area right behind us. Look at this tree. This is amazing. I wonder how old this tree is.
Or how about what kind of tree this is?
Or what, yeah, I mean, pretty amazing. If you have information, let us know. Wow, I am loving finding these pictographs, petroglyphs. This panel, we just came another little more than a mile down the road, and it told us to come to a small pull-off on the left. So again, we're going by the Moab Rock Art book that's really helpful in finding these, but you still have to look. So we pulled off into the pull-off, and we were looking around, they were right behind us. Look at this, and we can get right up on these. You've got animals, you've got people, and they said that these, you know, like the curves might represent a river, it might represent directions to the canyon, might represent wind. So cool. And you've got footprints, they think they are like animal tracks. I mean, just amazing that these have been here this long, and we can still just come right up on them to see them. I'm just blown away. Now I am curious, if you're from this area or if you spent a lot of time in this area, there are a couple of campgrounds that are closed, that are right in this area. One just past us here, and one across the street. Looks like they've been closed for a while. Not sure what the story is. So if you know, leave us a comment. I'd love to know the story. But this is amazing. It is another beautiful day in Moab. The seasons are beginning to change. It's cooled down quite a bit. It's in the low 80s today, and we're going to check out Moab Brewery.
Okay, the Moab Brewery. Food was pretty good. Beer, I've had better, but it was beer. Now we're gonna move on. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm wearing jeans in the summer. Yeah, that's crazy. But we're at Red Cliffs Lodge, and we came here. Now we're coming to the museum, which this is a little bit outside of Moab, and this place has a museum that they shot a lot of movies out here. So I mean you're literally in the middle of nowhere here. But I'm wearing jeans because one of our tours is horseback riding, and thank God this morning Stacie read the directions, and right before we left it said, you got to have long pants on, else you can't go. And I, of course, had shorts on. So we got changed, but we're really looking forward to that. And I'm telling you, that's next week's video. And the video is, you know, are the tours in Moab worth it? You know, so that's going to be a very interesting video. And the tour of this one here, for sure, will be on it. The horseback riding. We actually have 5 tours we're going to show on that video from 5 different companies. So that's worthy. And now we're going to check this museum out. So let's see what it is.
Wow, that was fantastic. If you're in Moab, you got to come to McGill's. The food was fresh, the service was great. They've been here over 20 years, and yeah, I actually overheard someone saying that they come to Moab to come to McGill's. As you're exploring Moab and downtown especially, make sure you take the time to walk into some of these art galleries. They sell things too, and it's pretty darn amazing. I mean, we can't buy anything, we don't have room for it, but oh my gosh, what a neat experience to walk around and enjoy it. So we decided to come look for a few more petroglyphs or pictographs this morning, and the book led us to Courthouse Wash, and this is also one that Ranger Alex told us about inside Arches National Park. There's a parking area, I don't know, a quarter of a mile back or so, and then we walked the rest of the way in. We wore the wrong shoes, we're in flip-flops and Crocs, but we made it. But unfortunately, this one's pretty disappointing, in large part because in April of 1980, someone decided to clean it, and they took household cleaner and they scrubbed the pictographs and the petroglyphs, and obviously damaged them quite extensively. They've tried to restore them, but in the shade, and since they are faded, they're way up there. I don't know if the camera is even going to be able to pick them up, but they're big, and they actually say that these represent 4 different cultures: archaic, ancestral Puebloan, Fremont, and historic Ute. So it's a real shame that someone damaged them back in 1980. If you get here, you can barely see them, but not as good as the other ones that we've visited. They have a great bike trail that you can pick up partly in town on the north end of town. You can take it to Lions Park. It goes up River Road, and it also takes you all the way out to Arches National Park. It looks fantastic. We didn't get it in this time. Next time, we'll do it.
Well, we're here now to answer the question, is Moab just about the national parks?
You know, it's funny because before we got here, my answer to that question would have been absolutely yes. We were coming here to spend 2 weeks to be able to spend time in Arches National Park and Canyonlands National Park, which are 2 of our bucket list places to visit.
For sure.
Once we got here, though, all of that changed.
Yes, yes, and unfortunately we did not make it to Canyonlands. That's part of all of this.
That's
we will be
crazy.
back. We're going to be back.
Oh,
for sure.
There's no doubt. And had you told me when we got here, even a week ago, that we never would have made it to Canyonlands during our stay, I would have thought you were crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
But there is so much to see and do here. It's almost overwhelming.
Yes, it is.
And one of the things that we noticed when we got here and when we started talking to people and they were talking about things they had done in town, tours were a big thing. Guided tours and rentals are a huge thing here in Moab. And so we decided to do a little bit of an experiment.
Yeah.
What we did is we took 5 different tours from 5 different companies, very different experiences,
Yep.
each and every one of them, all here in Moab. And next week's video is going to be all about our experience with those tours and if we think they were worth the money.
Yeah. So that, and believe me, that's worthy. You're going to want to see that next week. But also the thing about Moab here is this has got to be the off-road capital of the world. I mean, there are off-road trails everywhere, major trails, one of which we took on one of the tours, and you'll see that next week.
Holy cow.
Crazy. You can rent everything from 4x4s, Jeeps, bikes, from just all sorts of outfitters all over town. That is a major part. We met a lot of folks that were here just to do that, and people come every year just to do these trails.
We met a lot of people who come just to do the trails in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's a whole other group of people who come to hang out in town, to go to the restaurants and things like that.
Yep.
So yeah, Moab is a lot more than just the national parks. In fact, before it was the tourist town that it now is, and it is definitely a tourist town in my opinion.
Well, that's what it is now.
But before it was that, they were a uranium mining town.
Yeah.
So
They no longer do that. In fact, they're still cleaning that up to make sure that it's safe for that. But
there's a lot of interesting, when you drive around, you see a lot of kind of throwback to that time, which I haven't seen in most other places that we've gone, which
Yeah.
makes it interesting.
For
Now,
sure.
we talked earlier about having to change locations, having to change RV parks. There are a lot of RV camping options here in and around Moab. Everything from free BLM land to campgrounds that are on BLM to RV parks, luxury RV resorts as they call them. Just the whole gamut. There's a lot of choices, but Moab is very popular. So if you want to come for an extended period of time, I really recommend, if you're going to make reservations, to do that as far in advance as you can so that you don't have to move around. But don't give up on it if you can't get your whole time somewhere. We moved. It was really no big deal. Because nothing is far away here. Everything's pretty close.
that's right. And we ended up with the KOA here in Moab is where we stayed most of our time. We had to split 2 different times here with the
OK RV Park.
OK RV Park. We stayed there for 3 nights, but we just wanted to say in a nutshell, we love the KOA here. In fact, our last several KOAs have been very nice. And the pool here has been so relaxing. That took away from us adventuring as much because we loved the pool. In the afternoons, the pool was great, very relaxing.
They have a little concession stand where you can buy drinks or ice cream.
Yeah.
And yeah, they play music. And
we really enjoyed it. In fact, when we were here, KOA had its 60th birthday.
They're older than you.
Yes. They're older than me. And yeah, they had that. They had a party at the pool. We went. The DJ didn't show, but still, they played great music. They gave out cupcakes. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. And so, the thing about park hopping here in Moab that I want to talk about real quick, because the town's not real big and a lot of the RV parks are fairly close together, nearby, I should say. The one thing about it is you got to watch those check-out and check-in times. And so when we were leaving the KOA here to go over to OK RV Park, super nice people over there at OK, by the way, just didn't have the amenities that the KOA had. But when we were making the change to go over there, checkout time here at the KOA was 11. Check-in time at the OK was noon. So we pulled out at 11 o'clock. We took our time. It's only 2 miles. So we just really kind of took our time getting there. We got there about 11:15. Our site was open. It was clean. It was ready for us. So that was no big deal. We were able to check in early.
But the rest of the story, we had to come back to here. And the checkout time was 11 there. The check-in time here was 1.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we tried to call and make arrangements, but the person was still in our spot. And they said, well, you can try to get here by 11:30, no sooner than 11:30. And if they're out, if they didn't have any mechanical difficulty or whatever, and they're out, we'll let you check in. So luckily, we just delayed, pulled off to a couple places, got here a little after 11:30, and they did let us check in. However, it cost us $10 extra because we checked in before our check-in time.
Which is pretty common for a lot of the KOAs.
Yeah, but unfortunately that happened. But you know what? In the grand scheme of things, $10 was no big deal.
Right.
We didn't want to just go in town and park the rig, and it was worth $10 for us to be able to come here, set up early, and then go back to the pool, which that's basically what we did. So we've loved it here. The staff is wonderful.
Yes.
They're always doing stuff. It's a nice place. It's really nice.
And we will definitely be back to Moab. Obviously, we still have to go to Canyonlands. I'd love to check out Dead Horse Point State Park.
Yep.
We'd like to do riding of the bikes on the bike trail. There's quite a number of things we didn't get to. So we will definitely be back.
Well, why don't you show them the site real quick?
Yeah, let me show you our site. This is the Moab KOA. It is right on the highway that leads into Main Street, Moab, on the south side of town. This is site number 117. It is one of their longer sites. They've got it seems like a newer section over here that has longer pull-through sites. They're 30 and 50, it's 30 and 50 amp electric full hookup. It is gravel, and we have a picnic table and a barbecue grill. And the first few days we were here, we were in site number 106, which is right over there, facing the dog park, basically. So we've really enjoyed our stay here in Moab. We will, where's the sun? We will 100% be back. All right, as a quick reminder, make sure you come back next week to see what we thought of the tours here in Moab. I think you're gonna find that very interesting. And until next time, y'all, safe travels and happy camping. Bye.